very good evening and a warm welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Shain Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. The lockdown will be released tomorrow, authorities announce. 185 million rupees has been allocated for the development of Arugambe. News in detail. One of the most attractive tourist resorts in Sri Lanka, Arugambe was allocated 185 million rupees developed to make sure the attraction of more and more tourists. This was revealed at an event held at Arugambe Resort celebrating the World Tourism Day on the theme Tourism for Inclusive Growth. Arugambe is famed for one of the best safe surfing points in the world and places of interest like wildlife sanctuaries, Elephant Corridor and Elephant Rock, Pothuil Lagoon, Comana Bird Park and places of historical importance in Panama. However, these tourist attractive spots were deserted during last 20 months and those involved in the tourism industry were put in a desperate state. Organizers of the World Tourism Day at the auditorium of the Blue Wave Hotel under the health guidelines asserted that the situation is to be changed and the Ministry of Tourism has set apart a sum of 185 million rupees to Arugambe to develop tourism and all plans are afoot. Arugambe, one of the most attractive tourist resorts in Sri Lanka, had been deserted these days without tourists owing to COVID-19 pandemic. Touching upon the foreign tourists who were on bio-bubbles were hailed by the ministry officials for choosing to stay in Arugambe in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic. Ministry officials also added that Sri Lanka is the best destiny for tourism as it consists of all natural resources which can be reached within few hours. The number of daily COVID-19 deaths and cases reported continue to drop in Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, the government yesterday decided to lift the quarantine curfew, which has been in effect since the 20th of August at 4 a.m. tomorrow. According to data from the Health Promotion Bureau, Sri Lanka has a total of 516,465 cases reported until today. Out of this, 941 cases were reported within the last 24 hours. A significant decrease in the number of cases reported daily can be seen compared to the 2,271 patients reported on the 16th of September. Meanwhile, 61 deaths were reported within the last 24 hours, raising the total of COVID-19 death count to 12,847. Furthermore, in the last 24 hours, 770 recoveries were reported, bringing the total number of recovered COVID patients to 456,857. Out of the total COVID cases reported, 88.5% of them are the recovered patients, while only 8.9% of the cases are active cases receiving treatment. Furthermore, the 12,847 deaths amount to only 2.5% of the total COVID count. Moreover, Sri Lanka's COVID recovery rates stand at 88.58%, where India and Brazil have the highest recovery rates of 98.75% and 95.35% respectively. Meanwhile, coronavirus cases around the world continue to rise, although it's a decreasing rate of new cases at the beginning of the year. This decreasing rate can be seen at a time where people in most countries are adjusting their lives according to the new normal of engaging in day-to-day activities while protecting themselves from the virus. Up to date, the cumulative number of confirmed cases worldwide stand at 234,139,475, while the total number of deaths are at 4,789,790. USA remains the country with the most number of cases, with 44,199,496 cases being reported, while India and Brazil following behind with 33 million and 21 million total cases respectively. USA has also reported 713,953 COVID deaths and remains the country with the greatest number of COVID fatalities. Furthermore, a total of 33,634,702 COVID patients have recovered in USA, once again the highest in the world, while India reports 33 million recoveries and the total number of patients recovered globally are 210,934,787. 3,183,109 total cases were reported around the world in the last 7 days, while 3,517,849 cases were reported in the preceding 7 days, which shows a 10% decrease in reported COVID cases with respect to the last 7 days. Moreover, only 53,007 deaths were reported worldwide in the last 7 days, while 56,975 deaths were reported in the preceding 7 days. This too shows a 7% decrease in deaths while respect to the last 7 days. Furthermore, over 6.24 billion doses of the COVID-19 vaccine was being administered globally, and 28.79 million doses are now administered each day. Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Sri Lanka's stock index jumped to a fresh record high on Wednesday after gaining for 6 straight sessions on hopes of better earnings in the companies that have dollarized assets. The index closed 1.01% or 94.49 points up at 9,433.77, touching a fresh record high of 9,442 during the trade. The S&P SL20 index of more liquid stocks gained 1.95% to 67.14 points to close at 3,511.20. Foreign investors, however, sold a net 24 million rupees worth of shares yesterday. The market has suffered a net foreign outflow of over 43.5 billion rupees so far this year. The day's turnover was high of 5.9 billion rupees above the year's average daily turnover of over 4 billion rupees. Central Bank Governor Nivad Kabral's statements, including more focus on growth and stability, current policy rates are at a reasonable level, and currency have seen a positive to the market. Treasury bill rates rose between 32 to 71 basis points at a weekly auction, signaling a gradual rise in the market interest rates. The move could help the central bank to print less money, while brokers say the rise in the interest rates could see investors shifting their funds from equity to fixed assets slowly. The country's risk assets have unusually gained since mid-2020, partly due to record low interest rates, excess liquidity in money markets, and some businesses being disrupted due to import controls triggered by money printing. The trend of net foreign selling has been continuing since early last year. Importers have complained that they are compelled to pay nearly 15% more than the central bank's official rate, as state banks do not have adequate dollars. The gain was led by LOLC Holdings, Brown Investment and John Keel's Holdings. The both saw 118 stocks gaining against 79 falling during the day. However, brokers are in the view that the market could fall significantly if a market correction starts. Sri Lanka's ICT country brand, the Island of Ingenuity, was promoted at the Digital ICT Week in Luxembourg from 13 to 17 September 2021. Sri Lanka Export Development Board, together with the Embassy of Sri Lanka in Brussels, organized the participation of 7 Sri Lankan companies at the ICT Spring Europe exhibition under the ICT Digital Week at the European Convention Centre in Luxembourg. The ICT Digital Week presented many features, including thematic areas with conferences and exhibition focusing on fintech, digital tech and space tech. Ambassador of Sri Lanka to Luxembourg, Grace Arisavatham, inaugurated the Sri Lanka Pavilion and emphasized the importance of continuous participation at the ICT Spring Europe, considering the boundless opportunities presented under the ongoing digital transformation in the EU region. The ICT Digital Week provided a unique experience for participants in the fields of digitalization, artificial intelligence, fintech, space tech, innovation in the supply chain, industry and IT security through exhibitions and demonstrations of the latest tech trends and innovations. The ICT Spring Europe 2021 proved to be an effective platform to network with peers and investors. Sri Lanka tech entrepreneurs had the opportunity to showcase the ICT capabilities of Sri Lanka and promote Sri Lanka as a sub-regional technological hub for high-quality products and services. In addition to in-person participants, several Sri Lankan ICT companies participated virtually in the B2B meetings and the Digital Summit. The participants were able to secure several strong business leads with the EU clients. Also, the companies are in ongoing discussions with potential partners and investors to expand their business in EU region. We know most of you celebrated your birthday in grand level. You invited your friends, relatives and all. We also know you celebrated not only your birthday but also many other important days in your life. Well, tomorrow is World Children's Day. There will be thousands of children in this world who never knew about such celebrations. Government will officially celebrate the Children's Day as usual. However, we are going to tell you a strange story. A team of mothers got together and organized an online session for their kids. What is strange? Yes, that is none of these parents can see the world. They see the world through the eyes of their kids. Here are those lovely kids. The talents of these kids will be shown to the world this Saturday at 11 a.m. The program has been named as the Blossoms of Heart, and the initiative has been implemented by a visually handicapped women's association based in Colombo.
පුංචි රාජකුමාරි ඔන්න එකමත් එක රටක ඈත ඈත වනාන්තරයක ලස්සන මාලිකාවක් මැද ලස්සන රාජකුමාරියක් හිටියා. ඒ රාජකුමාරි කවදාවත් hina උනේ නැහැ. හරි බුදුමයි හරි මහද රෝස කුමාරි වත්තියකට නෙලනව මම රෝස කුමාරි Bindu bindu panggila rosa kumari Budu sami duda pudan mama rosa kumari Midule veli maligawa sakrati deviyala banna gallata langa aadi vela hande payana heti balanna satara disa jayagana mama hanikayemi obe lovata sandehiru vi eliya demi sam pawulakatama මාසකට 20000ක ගඩමල්ලක් දෙනවා පාසල් දරුවන්ගේ උපකරණ නොමිලේ ලබා දෙනවා ගුරුවරුන්ගේ වැටුප ලක්ෂය දක්වා වැඩි කරනවා ඒ නිසා ඔබේ ඡන්දය මා වෙනුවෙන් පාවිච්චි කරයි කියලා බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා
Stay tuned for stock updates. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The share price index gained 26.17 points to close at 9,459.94, and the S&P SL20 gained 49.25 points to close at 3,553.39. The turnover was 6.9 billion rupees and over 284 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. And that's all news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care and good night.